That's great. So let's take a look at some of the new features coming in Free Update 6. And we're actually seeing one of them right now. This is the new... I thought this was a good place to start. And, people can see some of the new stuff in the background as well. This is the new cinematic camera mode, which, I would just have this as like a screensaver if I could. My hours in the game would rack up in the thousands at that point, I think, and I wouldn't be able to do anything else on my computer. But the cinematic camera mode is for the new is a new feature in the capture mode. And James, can you share a little bit more about what the cinematic camera mode is all about?
Sure. Yeah. So the motivation here is just a bit like the guest cam, to give people a new way to experience their parks and appreciate them. At not always the ground level, but just seeing different angles to your parks that you wouldn't always see just in the normal sort of top-down gameplay. So yeah, cinematic camera rotates through interesting views of your park, and that could be guest views that you already have. For example, the view that you see from a hotel or from a monorail, zipline, stuff like that. And then there's a few new ones as well. So we move the camera over paths, for example. It follows over the guest paths to create like really nice flyovers. We have a few dotted up in the sky that are looking down. Obviously, we've got focusing on the individual dinosaurs, and like you said, it's you can just sit it and let it run. And when we're having meetings about this, we quite often we'll just be streaming it, and one person, we're all talking about it in the meeting, but it's just playing in the background, and then all the meetings end up overrunning because we're just standing there and watching it. So
some people have like a kitten cam or something in the background. The Jurassic World Evolution 2 dev team has Jurassic cam or dinosaur cam, if you will.
Yeah, and as you just brought up the settings, there's loads of ways to customize this, so you can pick which scenes you want to view. You can pick if you want to specify flying reptiles or marine reptiles, for example. You can customize it to your heart's content, and all of the customization that goes into capture mode normally is also available. So all the cool billboard, the black bars and the overlays and things like that are all available.
So what I can do is it was set to custom. I can also set it to all, and then I can turn off. Like, I don't want them to show the park teams because, Sandbox mode park, full disclosure, everything is set to be happy all at once at all the time.
Yep.
So I don't have any park teams running around. So if it were to show a park team viewpoint, they would just sort of be sitting there. But you can turn off and on various viewpoints, and then it will just jump between them. And what I really like is you can also just hit pause on the camera changes. So if you just wanted to be on the monorail, you can do that for a while and see what interesting angles
or if you have a particular behavior that you want to really see play out. And it will also it'll try and prioritize interesting behavior. So
yes, it's my little T-Rex kingdom. We might get to show it off a little bit later as well. But that is the cinematic camera mode, which I'm very, very excited for, and it's a really cool little feature that we've added in the new update. So let's see what else I've got on my list here. So one thing the cinematic camera mode will jump into now and again are the ziplines, and as some eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed, last week we are introducing some new zipline variants, because originally we added a Jurassic World variant, and now there are DFW variants and also some Jurassic Park variants. So this is the DFW variant, very in line with what we've done before with the DFW style buildings. And I believe over here we have the Jurassic Park variant as well. And they're going to function pretty much the same as any other zipline.
Yeah, they work the same, but it's just a way to put it into the park in a more seamless way, right? And if you're playing on a single era, then you can have a zipline now.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
No matter what era you're in.
It was a bit... like people on previous generation consoles or people who preferred one specific era, one specific style of buildings, they were left without zip lines, so we've added in these new zip lines. And I don't know, I like the style of these because The Jurassic Park one is very retro.
Yeah.
It feels like something that's been in a theme park since the 90s. So I feel like sort of the style of it has been... They nailed the style of it, the art team, while they've been working on
Yeah,
this.
definitely. Just try not to think too hard about why the Department for Fish and Wildlife have a zipline.
Let's first talk about the new viewing dome. Why don't you take it away, James?
Sure. So it's a new, like you said, it's a new type of viewing gallery. And the cool thing about these is that you place them directly into the middle of an enclosure, right? So, and once you've done that, you can connect them. You can connect them directly to a path using a tunnel. So they're sort of detached from the path. And yeah, we've got the two types: the viewing dome, which you can see there, and also the viewing log from the original Jurassic World.
Just like
so you
it.
can read.
But yeah, no, the viewing dome, as you said, it's a dome that you can then place directly into the middle of an enclosure, kind of similar to the research outpost from Dominion Bison expansion.
Yeah, definitely.
But more flat along the ground and just, a single building. But I think it's a really cool little addition because, it offers a different view of things.
It's a way to get up close and personal
So
with it.
close,
Yeah. Cool thing with the log as well is that certain dinosaurs that are small enough can actually walk underneath it as well.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yep, and pteranodons will perch on them. Pterosaurs.
That was going to be my next point. The fact that the viewing domes and viewing logs can also be placed inside your aviaries.
Oh, yeah.
And as Amy mentioned, the flying reptiles can perch on them, which I think is a really neat little feature as well, because it makes the whole thing feel more alive and more of a part of an ecosystem and all that stuff. Special building. So essentially, you place down either the viewing gallery or you place down the entrance building, and then you connect them up with a tunnel similar to the Hyperloop and other things of that nature. So and these can also, of course, be entered in guest view. So if you're walking around in the guest view, you can just walk up to it, and then you're inside. And you can also place these. They can be placed generally fairly far away from each other. Of course, there's a limit.
Yeah, there's a limit because we want to sort of still. You have to think about your layout of your parks still, right? We don't want to completely break the game with these, but yeah, they're quite generous. You can make a sort of hub area and then go out into a large sort of safari-style enclosure if you want to do it that way as well.
Yeah, definitely. I saw there was a question if there was going to be different domes for different eras. The dome itself is going to be the same, but the entrance buildings, the remote viewing gallery entrance, are going to look different and are era depending. So we've got one for Jurassic Park, one for DFW, and one for Jurassic World, which are styled after the existing era buildings already.
And these banners at the front actually change depending on what building you connect them to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
That is cool.
So that is the viewing domes. I have, of course, seeing as we are now introducing viewing logs, I had to make the T-Rex Kingdom.
Yeah.
And so this is my 3 T-Rex enclosure right here with the log viewing gallery in the center. And much like with the other viewing galleries, you can switch between the different viewpoints and look around them as you visit them as a guest.
And 50 points to whoever recreates the shot with a Ranger flare as well.
I'm sure someone's going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's going to do it. I do really like the fact that the smaller dinosaurs can walk underneath it as well. I think that came up on Reddit or in the chat or something, and so people were asking, does this happen? So it's nice of you to bring that up. I think that's really cool. Off the UI when you place them. Obviously, they're in attractions. Just mentioned that if you choose all eras in Sandbox mode, they will appear in the Jurassic World menu. But when you choose them, you can then choose between the different remote viewing entrances, and then this is what the UI looks like. So it's a simple matter of just placing it down somewhere. Oop, don't go outside the buildable area. And then you can also see...
You've got so much buildable area.
I've got so much buildable area, you wouldn't believe it. And then you can also see what the viewing range is on these. So the log obviously has has 2 conical areas, and then the dome itself is... Oh, I'm just going to
It's our first bow tie shaped
there.
viewing zone.
Yes, I think it's kind of cool. If I'm not going
Groundbreaking.
to lie.
You
And
look
then this
into
one
two
is
enclosures
just
at once.
a dome.
Yeah.
One side, one the other.
Yeah, exactly. Just make like a T shape, and then you're good. And then, of course, the dome has a circle area. And what's great about the entrances as well is that they will, much like the zip lines, they should, if I can find one of the entrances, they will automatically connect up to fences as well. So yeah, like James said, I have a lot of buildable space. So one of the things we announced for this update was something we called it square levels, which unfortunately I think confused some people. So apologies. What we mean by square levels is square maps, and what we mean by that is we mean square versions of the maps that we have. And I am on one of those square versions right now. This is the furthest I've been able to zoom out on this particular map here. And just to show you how big this thing is, this is a corner of the map. And then we continue, and we continue, and we continue. And that is the size of the square tropical map.
Yeah.
So for all you park builders out there, there is a literal square that you can build on, and it is quite sizable. Like the buildable area stretches to about here, I think.
That's it. Every dinosaur in the game, in
Yes.
one park, everywhere, whole map.
So basically, go wild is what I can say to this.
And there's one for every biome as well.
Yes. So in total, I think there's 9 new square maps. There's one for each environment, and then there's one based on San Diego, one of the other America ones, and I think on Malta as well.
Yeah, and the Biosyn Valley.
Yes, Biosyn Valley. Yes.
And then we've got the sort of temperate. Temperate has 2. It's got the autumnal trees, and it's got the summer version as well. So we've got two separate versions for that as well.
Yep. So I think there's a lot of buildable space because I mean, as you can see with the camera here, and I know there were some questions about what the maps will look like. I mean, the environment is what you see it is. It is a sort of mountainous. I think this is the Sorna 93 square version.
It looks like it, yeah.
But so yeah, there will obviously the day and night cycle will affect shadows and all of that. And just to show off what that looks like, this is one of the square levels. That's a shadow, so don't worry about that. And it is quite expansive. There's quite a lot of room to build if you decide to play on one of these square levels. Another thing that's coming to Sandbox mode is a lot of things actually. So let's head on over to the Sandbox settings, and first there is one thing that I know the community has asked for a while, and that is unlimited feeders.
Yep.
Can you talk a bit about that for me, James?
Sure. I mean, name kind of says it all.
Yeah.
In a sense, if you turn this on, then your ranges don't have to be used to resupply the feeders anymore. They'll show infinite reserves. So this just lets you have a really self-sustaining park if that's what you're going for in your sandbox, right? Yep. You just want to have minimal intervention by rangers because maybe you're going for a more natural feel, or you just don't want to have to think about rangers because you're in sandbox. So that's the option for you.
Absolutely. There's also some options for setting some income tax difficulties, which basically reduces how much income your park generates. Also a thing that the community has asked for quite a lot.
Funny. I saw
in case you want Sandbox mode to be a bit more difficult.
People are like, yes, tax me. It's like, okay.
Make it harder, damn it.
But this does actually let you sort of, play Sandbox in that way, right? Where you are...
Placeable trees in the game. But now you will be able to mix and match some of those trees because we are opening this up for, I believe it's for PC and next generation players. You'll be able to take all of these placeable trees and these placeable planters and use them across the board for all the different environments. So right now I'm in the tropical environment, but I have access to the tropical trees, obviously, alpine trees, desert, Mediterranean, taiga. I forget.
Maybe.
Temperate and temperate autumn, which I think is also a cool thing because, it is the color variation of the temperate. Just a way to expand the creativity in Sandbox mode a little
Yeah, maybe
bit.
you could do like a sort of pre-autumn scene where some of the trees have turned and some of them are still green leaves, right?
Yes, but it's I like it. I like it a lot. So this is for all of those placeable trees. For all you who enjoy placing these out to really decorate your parks in different ways. So now you have all these different trees that you can play with. The community is really simple at heart. They want trees and they want logs, said someone on Twitch
And
chat.
we're giving them.
And you know what? We're going to give them to you. You get your logs, you get your trees. Done.
I did see
Talk a
one
bit about
question
some
which
small dinosaurs, Amy. They're now going to raise their heads when they walk through water.
Yes, so we've always looked at some of our smaller dinosaurs, so things like the Chongqingosaurus and the Huayangosaurus. I think that pronunciation might not have been accurate there, but
we try.
so previously they've been isolated on these little islands, and they don't look like they'd particularly struggle to walk through semi-deep water. And now we've added an animation so that they will raise their little heads above the water as they wander through it. So
Like
it just expands their range a little bit.
Like the Styraco here, as it was walking through this little pond of mine, it would try to keep its chin up and up above the water.
Yeah.
Which I think is just another way of making these animals look more alive and just give them more verisimilitude as you play the game and as you look at as you look at your dinosaurs as they move through your park and move through your enclosures.
It was pretty adorable to make, I'll be honest. I think I was sending James many screenshots of dinosaurs, various dinosaurs.
just stick their nose above the water.
Oh,
it's really
so
sweet.
cute.
Yeah.
And,
That is so great.
like Amy said, it's nice because it actually means that they can now navigate. You know, they're not stuck being unable to walk through that water anymore. They can actually explore the whole enclosure. So
another thing that I want to mention just quickly off the bat before we move on is that with this update, the PS4 to PS5 save transfer is now sort of fully implemented, which means that after this update comes out, you can merge and transfer over all of your progress, and nothing will be overwritten or anything like that when you're transferring from PS4 to PS5. So that includes all your save files, all your progress, all that stuff. So just wanted to briefly mention that. I will see. But there was... Oh, there they are. There's some Yutyrannuses right there in the background. Beautiful, amazing, unique plumage. I would say beautiful, amazing, unique plumage on all of these new feathered species.
yeah, but the little puffy tails right at the end are really cool.
I love the mane they've got over the back of the necks.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful silhouette.
There it is. There it goes. So
she's
2
on
minutes
screen.
left on the giveaway, guys. If you haven't entered yet, type !merch over on our Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/frontier, and you can join up for that giveaway. But right now, we're just sitting here looking at this here Yutyrannus, and we're going to need your help to track down the rest of the prehistoric species over on our social channels. So keep an eye out on those in the next coming days, and we might post some images for you to help us identify some prehistoric creatures. I think I saw one try to do. No, one was running, so I was like, oh, is it going to hunt a goat? But then I think the goat might have just gone off somewhere. But, oh, they look so good. If you haven't entered already, oh, look at it! Look at it stand up. There we go.
She's running to a keyboard to type in !merch.
Yeah, exactly. And the giveaway is over. Thank you, Adam, for giving me that signal. And I think we can then jump straight in and pick some of these winners.
Mystery. Continue.
And Adam, please, if you could give me the names of the winners, which I think should already be posted over on Twitch. So, the winners is Scaff Potato and Sour Allosaurus. Congratulations.
But the Jehalosaurus is much more fluffy.
Yes.
And then,
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with the Sinosauropteryx.
Oh, yeah.
Very fluffy.
That's a better example.
And, is that an eating animation I see over there? There's eating behavior.
Should be eating the meat.
Oh, yeah. Having a snack.
You missed it.
And if you've been eagle-eyed, you may have also seen some of the color variations as well. I saw some really cool sort of black and white coloring as well. So
Yeah,
that
the feathers
looked
are a really good
great.
opportunity to do all of that colour changes.
Colours, patterns.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
so good.
And I discovered this by accident as I was trying to decorate, and I think it's a really cool addition as well. So let's tell me about the random rock placements.
Yeah, so it's you can just pick. Now we've within a biome, you can pick random tiger rock, random desert rock, random whichever rock you like, basically. So you can, and it'll pick, every time you click, it'll pick a new one within that group. So, yeah, it's just a nice way to decorate enclosures without sort of having to keep jumping between the UI and the rocks that you're placing. So,
and of course, there's a lot of rock puns in chat. This is rocking, holy rock, this rocks, etc., etc. And as I like to say, look at those boulders. Those are nice boulders.
That's why we did it.
Random rocks. I just stumbled across this. I was trying to put some rocks into my aviary, and I saw, oh, what's this button do? Oh, random rocks. That's cool. I like that. And then I just sort of did this for a little bit and just placed them out all over. Another thing that eagle-eyed viewers may have, they may have not noticed because we're blocking that part of the screen. So, Adam, if you could bring us up into full screen, please, is this button right here in the lower right-hand corner. Which, so this is basically a slow-mo button.
Slow-mo.
For the speed controls. And so I know that players have been asking for this for capture mode, but we decided to just put it into all of the game, essentially.
Yep.
And so if I then go into capture mode, then slow-mo will still be in effect. And I can just hit capture, and then boom, it will capture something mid-slow-mo, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really nice. And it's also could be useful for gameplay as well, right? If you've got a calamity going on, then you don't want to pause, but you can chuck it in slow-mo and sort of react with superhuman speed.
It's so dramatic.
And I honestly, they look really good when they fly around in slow motion.
Yeah.
It's so
It
dramatic,
really
isn't
shows,
it?
I think it really shows just how much work has gone into making them look when they fly and into the motion in general of the different dinosaurs and the different species. So best
Definitely
of
nice to see the hunts in slow mo.
Oh, I bet. Those brutal hunts that the amazing animation team has created.
Yeah, they're good fun.